Hello again, guys. I'm sorry. I meant to say at the end of part 4 that we're going into part 5. So forgive me for that. I was just, carried away talking about the game. So here is the start of 5. And again, if you have not seen the other 4 videos in the series, go back and check those out and come on back here with us for this. So, okay, so we're going to end this with Albus. As I said, he can be he's the hero's fetch hound. It's a very cool mechanic and something brand new that was very cool to develop for the game, for people to enjoy using. And this is just a quick demo of up here it describes this where Albus he has a base movement of 6 with the roll of a d6. So he rolls a 5 here, and it shows that he can stop here. He can stop, interrupt his movement to get gold from the heroes, drop off items. So he stops here by Maheliak, picks up some gold, and then he moves out of the dungeon to the village board to get whatever, the heroes would need. And then, of course, brings the items back. So I fully, get very in-depth about talking about that. So the next page is, again, this is more about just closing out everything about Albus right here. Using Albus with completing quests that, if there's like a physical reward that the heroes need, Albus can be sent back to the village upon the heroes completing the quest to bring back, any gold or, say that one of the villagers gave them a weapon, he can bring that back. So I was very descriptive about that. So we're going to get into leveling up your heroes. In Dungeon Crusade, your heroes can level up to level 3. And that's something I want to talk about, that in the expansion there's going to be a full campaign, and I've been asked this many times, so I just want to quickly address this. This is a very, very fulfilling experience, guys. If you play the Avalon Adventure board game first, that's where you're going to explore Avalon. There's 259 different unique encounters and events, pardon me, where you're going to experience. Then they come into Dungeon Crusade, where you're going to have 6 unique quests. And, during that time, your heroes are going to level up from 1, 2 to 3. So it's a very unique structure. And honestly, I played a ton of these games. I think you're really in for something very fulfilling, very satisfying. It's very grand. So that's what I wanted to say, that your heroes can level up to level 3. And this talked about like the temple. This is the temple of this goes into when they go back to Celebration Day about leveling up. They can visit the temple to drink from the healing fountain to regain their health. The tavern, they can rent a room for 100 gold per night, sleep, and get their essence recharged. This talks about enlightenment to gain a level when you leave Celebration Day, but we won't get into all that right now. But leveling up on special events, this was kind of secret, but there's some things in the game that I created. I'm not going to say anything, no spoilers. The people have yelled at me for getting spoilers. I'm not going to say anything, but there's some special things in the game where you could obtain a higher level. And this brings me to one of the design choices that I was very passionate about. And this is kind of throwing a lot of spotlight on a truly awesome friend of mine, artist Freddie Lopez. And this guy is just amazing. His personality, his art, and all these artists, of course, are amazing. But me and Freddie worked very closely, and we have a really good chemistry. I would give him these design docs. Sometimes I would just say, hey, Freddie, we need an evil-looking succubus. And Freddie, this is a succubus, level 3 champion. There's a normal and elite version. Freddie goes and creates something like this. How deadly and beautiful at the same time, right? His art is just amazing. And something that he's done, and this is me going off a little bit, that he has given this game a unique character. It's like when you look at Dungeon Crusade and you see these heroes and monsters and creatures, it has just that look, in air quotes, if you will. It's just, he's amazing. And between me and him and, in this aspect of the game, he was just amazing. I can't say enough high things about him. But this leads me to something else that we did, and I've said early on, and this is just my viewpoint, guys, okay? I'm very candid, and I always just give you the straight, the skinny on everything, how I feel. While there's some creatures in the game and monsters and women like this who look very alluring. I was very passionate about the female heroes in this game looking like their male counterparts. Now, you know, I love these games and all that, but I particularly don't like, you know, the female fantasy heroes that wearing like a chainmail bra or like a loincloth and showing all the skin and a little overdeveloped, if you know what I mean. It's just something that's good for other games and other designers and players, but with Dungeon Crusade, all the females, you know, the female heroes in the game are dressed like their male counterparts, and I was very passionate about that. So we're going to take a good close-up look. You know, there's 6 male heroes, 6 female, of course, Albus. And let's take a good look at these and show you what I mean. Like, this is Enwin Shadowleaf, our archer. And notice Freddy Lopez. All this is Freddy Lopez. You know, I gave him some ideas. Freddy remembers how many revisions we did on Enwin, and I love you, Freddy, and thank you. But dressed very appropriately. I mean, she, excuse my French, she looks like a badass. I mean, that's just awesome. And if you don't mind me saying, I think a lot of, you know, a lot of girls, a lot of women now are playing these kind of games, and I think that they enjoy seeing something like this also, you know. So just know, with Groovis Games Unlimited, every game we make, it's always going to kind of be like this. I just shy away from the, what, overly sexualized fantasy females. So I hope I didn't offend anyone, but I speak from the heart, and that's who I am. So this is Palum Ganamar, Rogue. Faith Eliza, Cleric. Very awesome. Freddy, you're incredible. I told Freddy we needed a bard, and this a backer named all these. Backers named all of these characters. They wrote a backstory and everything. So this girl's name is Matari, and I just said, Freddy, we need a female bard. Do what you want. And look what Freddy created. I just think that's so awesome. You know, she has this dagger and this lute, and I created special abilities, like very unique for her. All of them are unique, but hers are very unique. And then Jorah Oakheart, our priestess hero. Jorah is kind of weak in the game, not a lot of health, ton of essence, and she's got great healing spells, but she's kind of very fragile. But she is, you know, a very unique hero who can cast some massive heals on, you know, her fellow comrades. And then last but not least, Justin, awesome design choices you made for this. And of course, Freddy painted it. Lyrena Nightweaver, Battle Mage, and just all of them so tastefully done. Okay, guys, actually we're gonna do the last one is gonna be the video series 6 for the rulebook, and we'll finish this up. So I'll be right back with you, and we'll wrap all this up. And again, I hope you like, you know, hearing all this, and it gives me a chance to kind of, to be honest with you, take a break from doing this rulebook, because this is all I do. So it gives me a chance to talk to you guys and show you some stuff that may, you know, that you didn't know and all that. So I will be back momentarily.